Now, I've been meaning to talk about this for a little while now, but I never really had the time and I didn't know what to say, but I decided, you know what, I really need to talk about... I feel like I need to talk about this one because I'm a giant fan of the franchise, and the other thing is there's a double-edged sword to this whole predicament. Now, for those who are unaware, it was recently announced, sometime last week, I believe, that Hasbro's decided to cancel the Transformers film franchise. They canceled the 6th movie and decided to reboot it. However, the Bumblebee prequel movie will still be coming out this year, which I haven't seen. I guess they have no faith in that movie. Like, you'd think they'd come out with a trailer or something, though knowing my luck, tomorrow I'll see a trailer for the Bumblebee movie. And it's not under Michael Bay, it's under a new director, I believe, and set in the 80s. Alright, I don't know what that is, but that is the last of the Bayformers universe Transformers. That is the last of that. And then we're going to move on to a new Transformers franchise. Now, what do I think of this? Well, first off, all I gotta say is about frickin' time. And I know what you're thinking. Well, shouldn't you be happy about this, DPZ? You know, Michael Bay's no longer on a Transformers film. Yeah, but what I'm saying is it shouldn't have taken this long. Two, you know, just because it's getting rebooted doesn't mean it's going to be good. You know, we've seen before that, you know, sometimes reboots don't exactly work. There's been a good track record recently, but there's been also an equal amount of bad, so I'm not really holding my breath. You know, and there's something else that's maybe important to this that I'll get into in a moment. But yeah, so this is the big thing I'm wondering about with this, is that with Transformers getting a reboot, is that, you know, you really need someone who can really understand the action in here and really make these characters feel like characters, you know, not just I know they're giant alien robots, but make them feel like characters. They need to be the stars, not the humans, you know. That's been kind of the thing. Also, it would be nice if you kept Frank Welker and Peter Cullen as Optimus and Megatron, respectively. I mean, yeah, I know you want to get star power in here, but please just keep them as is. That's all I have to say. Keep them as is. Anyway, what was I saying? But on the other, like I said, now the big thing is that where can you go? Like, where in this film where could you go that the Hasbro films haven't, you know, the original Bayformer films haven't gone already? Now, you could definitely play with the secret war angle that was kind of going on in the IDW comics. In fact, Hasbro really needs to take a good long look at the IDW comics for Transformers, because those are some of the best Transformers stuff, period. And a lot of the really cool stuff happens in the Simon Furman run. Simon Furman, who did a lot of the Transformers comics from Marvel, he also did a lot of the early stuff in IDW. In fact, you could almost argue that he was almost like the Chris Claremont. He did to Transformers what Chris Claremont did for X-Men. In that he took this big ensemble team and made it, you know, very, you know, and did more with it. Now, yes, I know that there have been a lot more, like All Hail Megatron and all that. But yeah, I think they should really start off with the Simon Furman run, which the first few volumes of the Simon Furman run really felt like, you know, it really played very secretive with the war between the Autobots and Decepticons. That's what I think would be a really cool angle to play with. Or you could do something really cool and maybe set the first film on Cybertron and set up the war between the division that led to the Civil War between Optimus, you know, the Autobots and the Decepticons, excuse me. And really focus on, you know, Optimus, you know, Orion Pax and meeting Megatron, you know, becoming friends, and then dividing. It's very much like, in the comics, and you could easily play with this angle, it's very much like Xavier and Magneto between Optimus and Megatron. Because Megatron was kind of like, at the beginning, he was like, yeah, you know, I'm fighting for equal rights for Cybertronians, because the Cybertronian High Council doesn't give a fuck about us. And Orion Pax was like, yeah, I'm totally in for this. But then we slowly see the divisions, and eventually Orion becoming Optimus, and the war leading on from there. And then in the next movie, you could have, yeah, they finally reach Earth, or something to that degree. Now, the other thing I want to bring up is that it was something that IDW wants to do with their films, and they're doing the same thing with G.I. Joe, and also, you know, Hasbro's sworn to come out with a new line of movies, and this does not surprise me, in that They want to do a shared universe. Yes, I know, another shared cinematic universe, but and Marvel's been the only one who's been, good so far. Look at look at Dark Universe if you want to see a failed cinematic universe, twice from Universal now. Real quick, my advice to Hasbro: don't get Alex Kurtzman. Look at what he did to Dark. He cut the head of the snake before it even had a chance to grow into a Hydra. That analogy made no sense. I'm sorry. I was going with monster analogy, but I guess that didn't work out. But yeah, don't get Alex Kurtzman. Get someone who understands big ensemble casts and can really play with that. I'm not asking for like Josh Whedon or something, but at least someone who can really understand big ensemble cast and really play with sci-fi action. Hell, get James Gunn if he's not too busy with the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Actually, no, that'd be a really good pick. James Gunn for a Transformers movie? Shit, yeah. Or even how about get the guy from? I know this is going to sound a little predictable because it's it's vehicles and all that, but how about get the director from Fast and the Furious? I mean, yeah, he did direct the Fast and the Furious movies, and those are giant action films. It's just Transformer films without them turning into robots. But on the other hand, he did direct Star Trek Beyond. Having said that, though, I think it was not so much the direction, but more like the right as Simon Pegg's script that really made Star Trek Beyond really good. One could make that argument. Anywho, but like I was saying before, with a shared universe a shared universe, because that's what they want. That's what they want to do. Because if you guys remember, Hasbro did say that they wanted to make a giant shared cinematic universe with, featuring the G.I. Joe, ROM, Micronauts, and I believe there was another one they haven't announced yet, which I'm thinking is either going to be the Visionaries or the Inhumanoids. I'm really banking on the Inhumanoids, and that's a safe bet because, the Kaiju films are making a big comeback, so I would not be shocked if Hasbro said, yeah, it's going to be an Inhumanoids movie to cash in on the big Kaiju craze that has come back. But anyway, I digress. So it's no doubt in my mind that Transformers is going to be rebooted and put into this continuity. And yeah, we're already seeing it with Revolutionaries. That the IDW Comics has already made a shared Hasbro universe. And I'm pretty sure Hasbro looked at that comic and said, yeah, we could do that. In fact, I would not be shocked if they did take a lot from IDW. I guarantee you that their big ensemble, everyone's connected now movie would be First Strike, which is the event where Mask and G.I. Joe and ROM, all those characters, and the Micronauts are all, it all culminates into a war between Earth and Cybertron. There's a lot. I'll probably do a review of First Strike sometime in the future, and explain further, but that's kind of the gist of it. Anyway, so that's kind of, but yeah, just because we're getting, like I said, I'm not holding my breath until we get more information, because like I said, where was I going with this? Just because it's getting rebooted doesn't mean it's going to be great. I mean, and yeah, the fact that they're going to try to shoehorn this into a shared universe doesn't help, because like I said, Hasbro, look at The Mummy, The Mummy, and take notes on how not to make a shared universe, i.e., don't shovel everything all at once, and don't get Alex Kurtzman or anyone else who really doesn't give a flying fuck about these characters, and really does not understand plotting or storytelling to really play with these characters. Get someone who can do fun characters and fun action and really play with ensemble casts. I don't know, if maybe Gareth Edwards? Actually, Gareth Edwards, I don't know, I mean, Rogue One is really good, but you look at Godzilla and that's kind of iffy. But maybe if he had, a writer who could really play, who could really give his kind of vision a little more oomph, I would say Gareth Edwards, because if he can bring back Godzilla, albeit kind of with, it's so much not as a Godzilla story, or actually, how about Michael Daughtry? Actually, yeah, the guy who directed Krampus and is currently doing the second Godzilla film, yeah, get him to direct Transformers. There you go. Or, I'm forgetting his name, but the director of Adam Wingard. He'd actually be really good. He's going to be directing the Kong vs. Godzilla film. And he's done a lot of horror films. Yeah, he did Blair Witch, but that wasn't really on him because he was kind of, from what I understand, he was grabbed at the last second. It's kind of like with Tomorrowland with Brad Bird, where Brad Bird was brought in at the last second. It was kind of like that situation, so I don't blame Wingard for so much for the third Blair Witch movie. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling now. Sorry about that. But anyway, you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of Hasbro rebooting the Transformers franchise, film franchise, and bringing it back and into this Hasbro shared universe? Who do you guys want to see direct it, or star in it, or play Autobots? And what do you think of this shared universe on a whole? Just comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.